Hey y'all, what's going on? We are back again, like we said we were going to do, to discuss The Real Housewives of Potomac season 9, episode 20, which just so happens to be reunion part 3, the last final part of this 3-part reunion series that we had. We are officially done with Potomac until next season, season 10. And we have some things to say, though. We have some things to say about this last part. I will say that for me, okay, I guess I would rank this the same as I did part 2. It wasn't horrible, but the fact that we literally spent the first 30 plus minutes speaking about Stacey and where is it at? The lies. It was a lot for me. I'm not gonna lie about that. Nonetheless, I will say overall, Andy didn't lie. It still was a good reunion, I would say. They delivered, I would say, a lot more than a lot of the episodes during the actual season. So not too much on them, but y'all already know before we get into that, we need to just go over just a couple of housekeeping things. Just a couple things. Y'all already know, like the video. We are streaming from both of our channels, so make sure you like the video.
That's me. That's us. Sorry. So I can see the comment.
Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to both channels, please and thank you. And share us with all of your folks near and far. And if you are not catching this live and you watch it on the replay, shout outs to you. Drop us a comment. We would love to have a little kiki down there. I got a couple comments from last week on whatnot I need to respond to. And so, yeah, I would love to hear from you all. I know my sis would love to hear from you all. So please do that. And yeah, that's really it. All of our socials are scrolling along the bottom now. You can follow us on any of those platforms as well. And yeah, that's not too much. Like I said, not too much.
Well, I want to thank you again for having me on for this grand finale of reunion, the grand finale. And so, yeah, I would agree that it was a good one. It kept me at the edge of my seat for each part. You know what I mean? So, yeah, they delivered. They all look good. I was a little disappointed that we didn't get the men. We did get Eddie, but we usually get the men. And so, that was kind of weird to me. And I'm with Kay. Kay gonna have to hear that. Greg was not gonna be a happy camper after that.
We know Greg was somewhere. Even he's like, this is why I don't even see it for this show. This is why I don't even want to be here in the first place. Now they're playing with my time. I could have been down at the clinic or wherever, his office, whatever.
Could have make my own money. While you making your money, I could have been making some money because I don't get paid. But
no, I mean,
it ain't about him. It ain't about you, brother. You're supposed to be there supporting your woman, and thank you for doing so. We appreciate it, even though you guys it wasn't like it was a dig towards you, like, oh yeah, all the men come on, but Greg, you're gonna stay. It wasn't that. So, him being a little bit in his feelings, I mean, it shouldn't be that bad.
Did you color your hair?
Me? Yes. It's dark. You just noticed I did my hair last week.
Well, my mind isn't going. No, what? I mean, no, it looks good. I mean, because it's not like it never looks bad. So it's just like, oh, my sis looks good again. Like,
it's dark brown. It looks a little darker than it is because this is crochet. But yes, I did darken it because
okay.
On it. So this is not, this is not just sis, but it looks like me all day long. So, yeah, I can't wait to get into some things. And with Mia's exit, I hope she exits stage left and stay left. Stay left, girl. Goodbye.
We know that Andy doesn't take too kindly. The network don't take too kindly to people making premature exits and making up their own rules. So she might not even get a seat back at the table next season just based off of that. So, she might have done us a favor for all we know. I guess we'll see. Hey, what's going on? Hi, ladies. I have been anticipating this review. On another note, Wendy was the MVP for all three parts of the reunion. For Gizelle to be an OG who alley oops behind Wendy speaks volumes. Yet Gizelle is in first chair. Talk about colorism. I'll wait. Well, Gizelle. Technically speaking, I was about to give them, a little credit this season because technically speaking, Gizelle wasn't supposed to be in the first chair. It was supposed to be Mia and Karen, if I'm not mistaken, when we first got it. And then obviously Karen didn't come, so that shifted things. So I'll give them this much, but at the same time, I am 100% behind you when I say that for whatever reason, no matter what Wendy does, Wendy can literally be perfect in every single facet of life and facet of housewives, and they will still find something wrong with her, and people will still get down here and have something to say. A lot of people had something to say about apparently she was just like doing too much for them at the reunion, but in my opinion, she was carrying the reunion and a lot of the season, a lot of things on her back, because for the umpteenth time, y'all, I tell you, Wendy is the quintessential housewife on here, and actually officially right now she's like the only one on there that's really even married for real. Karen's in jail right now, so she don't count. So really when we look at her and we check, she checks all of the boxes, and for some odd reason, I think obviously we know what the reason is, but you know what I mean, for some odd reason people just do not want to give her flowers, and it really pisses me off.
Agreed. I'll let you finish reading the comments real quick.
Kay was the most annoying to me. She is so far up Karen's arse. Knock it off. Hashtag enough already. Yeah, I'm gonna need her. Like, I get two things can be true at the same time. Multiple things can be true at the same time, y'all. Mm-hmm. I understand that she was there for you last year when, that lady, when Sesame Street put her hands on you and stuff like that. I totally understand that. And so that's okay, but at the same time, Kay, I'm gonna need you to take the blinders off, and just because
did she do anything outside of that? Like in this season, did we see Karen go above and beyond for Kay at any time, or even a sidebar where they, like how Kay said that she offered Greg services to to her? We didn't get to see that.
That's what I'm saying. We've heard about all these things, just like in the off season. It was obvious that they formed some close bond or whatever off camera. So I mean, I believe that. I'm sure you guys did. Sure, I'll give you that. But still, don't allow what you guys have, what friendship you guys have fostered to not allow you to see that this, she has her flaws and stuff like that. Like, I'm not saying you need to take everything that they say for law, but I want her to just still keep her own mind and be open to the fact that the minute that she sees that the trailing wheels are off, when she comes back, she might turn on you. So don't be surprised that might happen. Just saying.
And here's the other thing I did want to, before you go to that comment, I did want to, before I forget, I'll forget real quick. As far as Wendy is concerned, and people, are split where they thought that she was doing too much, and then they, a lot of people are like, she's an MVP. I see it both ways with my Libra self. There was times that it looked like she was doing a lot.
I agree,
but I haven't even read the comments. So, but the thing with her looking like she was doing a lot, I'm gonna tell you right now, it came off as mature acting. When you have to clown and you have to you come a little bit out of character to me, Gizelle was, falling all over the place and laughing all on Ashley and stuff. Like, that was her bestie. And just Gizelle, even everything she said, she didn't have no, I don't want to say vocabulary, but she just really didn't have really much to say. And everything that Wendy was articulating came across like very articulated, right? And then got her point across. And it was just like, oranges and apples. It was like watching Wendy was watching her, be poised and say what she needs to say from the hip, did not kiss Karen's behind, didn't waver on it. And then Gizelle, she's kind of flip-flopping. So for me, I think people are getting misconstrued that Wendy really was making her points and was coming at them the way she does, and y'all don't like it, them 4 degrees pay off. Or is it 5? However many it is, it just pays off, and you can tell. So I think it's coming more from like y'all mad at her from that reason, because she don't have to cut up and act the way the light skin couch is. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect, I'm light skinned because I don't, it's not like that. I'm just saying when we're looking at it from those two angles. So for me, I was just thinking like, Gizelle, you have nothing to say. Woo! Oh, I'm just tired. Oh, that. It was just, everything was just I don't know. It was just really off to me, and it was off-putting to me a lot.
Wendy, no, I agree. As far as there was a couple times I was like, okay, like Wendy, okay. But there was far less times where I felt like that versus where I actually understood what she was saying, and I feel like she added value to the conversation and guided it in the direction that it needed to go, which is why I said what I said before, that she did carry it on her back, and for the ones that also just don't see that, this lady has had so much hurled at her left and right for like since she stepped a toe on this platform. And I do feel like because of that, she deserved to, just be carefree and just do what she wants or whatever. And I think that that's something that they just, I don't know, they can't digest it for some weird reason. I just don't get it, other than them needing to find something wrong. No matter what she does, they're going to find something wrong with it. And it's not to say that when she is being annoying or when she does fall short in her areas, I have no problem whacking her over the head and giving her the business just like I would anybody else up on that stage. But for some odd reason, it just is always Wendy, and I don't get it. Kevin likes it.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate it. I'm digging it too.
Exit stage.
Hello? That's all. I know you coming, you laughing at what I'm saying, but I'm for real though. We don't take kindly to people exiting. There ain't no closing no computers. You don't get to do that. If you're there, you stay in the hot seat. You're sitting on this chair, you're sitting on this platform, you did everything like I said. You went through the emotions, and so your ass should stay there. Why? I don't care who's coming for your motherhood. You came for hers.
Oh yes,
children.
Shout outs to Feisty, of course, as always. But we cannot let this moment pass us by, y'all. Without over the weekend, we got some horrible news. Rest in peace to Jill Scott.
No, not Jill.
Angie Stone. What am I talking? Sorry, Angie Stone. Sorry.
I know that's just because you're on your Neo Soul. Everybody's been talking about Neo Soul and everybody across the billboard. But yes,
I first saw that. I was actually watching. Shout outs to Pop Roast. I was watching C Diggy and Alexander Rogers on there with the Brooke Ashley, and I saw this come up on my timeline or whatever, and I was like, nah, it was just like not the most credible source ever. So I just hoped, I was like, oh no, rest in peace, Angie Stone. Like, no, that's not possible. And no, it literally happened, and I was just so taken aback, and just to learn like the possible way in which it happened and stuff like that is very tragic. So definitely prayers go out to her family and her children and everything. That was not what I was expecting to see on my timeline at all.
I literally, rest in peace, Angie Stone, for sure. I literally didn't find out till yesterday. Of course, Saturday was my oldest and my youngest birthday, so I didn't really go on social media. I sent the birthday wishes to my kids. I didn't go back on social media at all. And then yesterday I was doing my clients here, and then I go up, I look on my phone, and Make It Make Sense is on. I mean, not on. His come up, and it said Angie Stone passed, and I didn't even look at the date. I literally thought it was because it was at the top of my list. I'm thinking it was that today, yesterday, today. I thought it was then. So I'm listening to it, and shout out to Feisty, because first of all, if y'all haven't, go check out Make It Make Sense in his review about Angie Stone, because he goes in depth about her career. It was really beautiful, and around for her whole career. So she's one of my fave. She's one of the first women rappers ever that I've ever heard in my life, because her group came on in 1980 and I was born in 72. And I remember hearing it. My dad had it. He played it because he was like a DJ and did parties and stuff. But anyway, Too Feisty had came up, Make It Make Sense at an open line, and Feisty had made such great points, and I was like so mad I wasn't in the chat. Just tell my sis how good she is. Like, that's what Feisty does. If y'all don't know, Too Feisty is just wise beyond her years, and her mind a straight shooter, and just know what she's talking about. So kudos to you talking about Angie Stone and giving us some background on it. So it was really good. So yeah, rest in peace, Angie Stone. You're going to be missed. That voice is impeccable, effortless. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, my mind was blown completely.
Mine too.
By that. So of course we couldn't let this moment pass us by, because I mean this is the first time I've been back. Yeah, this is the first time I've been back here. I'm pretty sure this is the first time you've been back up here. So definitely had to send our condolences. Cousin, what's going on? Hence why California Kitty, hence why I initially said Gizelle alley-ooped behind Wendy. Yeah, which I want to say Andy kind of I guess he made mention of that to their forming friendship or whatever towards the end of the episode. I don't know. I still side-eye that. At the same time,
I do too.
Do I want to keep seeing the same old beefs? No, absolutely not. But I'm still pissed off that we didn't get to see more of that conversation that apparently was 2 hours or however long, that initial conversation that Gizelle and Wendy had when they had that one-on-one sit down. I'm still mad that we only saw a snippet of that, when that whole beef has been something that has plagued this freaking franchise for how many seasons now? And we only got
when Wendy stepped on that platform. From day one, Wendy stepped on that platform, Gizelle had it out for her. Gizelle and her neck had it out for Wendy.
So crazy. I was in the bushes on that. Oh yeah, that live. That was a good live. That was a very good live. Yeah, I just, and that's why again, do I give Wendy maybe a little bit more grace than the others? Yeah, of course I do. But at the same time, if she's wrong, I don't, hesitate to call her out for stuff. But y'all have to really realize that this lady had all the odds stacked against her since she came on this platform, and somehow she's always overcome them. And for whatever reason, y'all just keep stacking them up in front of her. And I don't get it, because when it's somebody else, when it's the Ashleys or the Giselles or the whoever's, y'all don't have nothing really to say for them. And they've done things that are way more terrible than anything that Wendy has said or done on this show. So please.
Hello, Mia. Goodbye, Mia.
Please spare me. Yeah, please spare me. I cannot. But anyway, y'all, let's get into it. Yep. So, of course, you already know this part 3 had picked up right where part 2 left off, which is Wendy shouting, shut the F up, like, whoa. However, she doesn't disclose what exactly her reaction was about, at least not at this point. So we're like, okay, I mean, I kind of obviously figured out what it was about, whatever. We kind of speculated what it was about, but anyway, at this point, we didn't quite know. So we also find out that all of the 2 husbands that are in the building will not be coming out on stage, like we already mentioned. So I'm sure Greg was back there punching the air, saying that he could be doing better things. So Andy then looks over and, asks Stacey why she didn't want TJ to come. And Stacey claims it's because they're no longer together. Everybody's kind of like, okay. So Wendy's,
except for Kay, because she was like, were y'all ever? I said, girl, you better say it. You better say it. Go ahead.
So Wendy was like, okay, so are you sure? Like, because according to Eddie, they they just talked on FaceTime, him and TJ let Eddie know that she paid him to be her love interest this season. And he also said she told him not to come. And while we're at it, run him his money pretty much. So everybody's like, whoa, like this is a bomb being dropped that we just didn't see coming. I'm like, well, what? Tell me more. And yeah, Kay was the only one that was like, you know, I've been convinced he was a paid actor. Like she was not moved at all. She saw this coming. So of course, Andy then is like, because this literally just happened right then and there. Andy starts corresponding with the control room and stuff like that, asking them if they have the footage. Unfortunately, they didn't have the footage. Well, they did have the footage, but that particular camera that picked up that footage was backstage still capturing Mia trying to make her grand exit, which I don't know. Raise your hand if you guys were pissed off, because I know I was, because I was like, girl, just leave. I don't care. Like, I'd rather see the footage. Like, come, bring the camera back here. I know I was like,
good. I didn't need to see her get untied, that thing, try to get her dress off. I could have deal without all of that. When she walked off, that should have been the end of it, and y'all should have paid her half the money because she only did half the reunion. I would have just broke it all the way down to her. Yeah, girl, you left. Girl, you left.
Exactly. So then immediately Stacey is denying this profusely. Wendy's immediately on that ass saying, you know, you've been calling this man your best friend left and right, and that is not your best friend. Like, what is up with that? But Stacey, and then Wendy asks her or whatever, they ask her like, okay, so why not call TJ to clarify? And Stacey's like, no, absolutely not. We're not together anymore. Why would I call him? Because that would just be entertaining a lie. Like, she doesn't believe Wendy or Eddie at this point. And Andy's like, well, wait, because, you know, they have it on tape though. So you're saying you don't believe it, but like they literally just picked this up on tape. So I don't understand what he's saying here, Stacey. And again, Mia's back there making her over dramatic exit, getting, you know, unmiked, taking her dress off, the whole nine. And she changes her clothes, she hops in the SUV, and that is the last time we see Mia.
With the ugly cry, with the looking like Jessica Rabbit by the mouth. I was like, what is wrong with you? You get gone.
So dramatic for no freaking reason, y'all. So dramatic.
Nobody coming from my motherhood. Girl, that's all you got from this whole conversation, this whole time, is that they came for your motherhood. Girl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, that's
Meanwhile, back on stage, Giselle's like, girl, you are busted, legs wide open, honey. Like, stop your lies. And again, Stacey's like forming this like reverse psychology or trying to cast reasonable doubt on, you know, asking them, well, you know, if that's the case, why would I say almost an hour ago that he's one of the best people I know? If you know, he would come out in his mouth and say something like this. And they're like, because you didn't want to be exposed as a liar? Like, huh? Like, what are you saying, girl? And Andy, I feel like Andy tried to give her an out a couple times. I also feel like Wendy technically was trying to give her an out or trying to make her see that, girl, like, don't, you know, have yourself out here looking crazy. Like, I'm trying to set you up for success right now and give you the opportunity to be honest, because, you know, once it goes beyond this, and once it's up, it's up. So Andy's like, you know, is it possible that you know, both are just not on the same page? Like, and again, Stacey's like, you know, I stand in my truth. So show me the footage, show me the proof, whatever. And so then everybody turns into a whole like, bring Eddie out. Like, bring Eddie out. He knows, like, he was on the phone with him. So Eddie comes out, he takes first chair, and I was like, yeah, see, it's much better than Mia. Mm-hmm. And he lets it be known that he did place a FaceTime call to TJ, just totally unrelated to any mess. He just simply was like, you know, why aren't you here? What's up? Where are you at? You know, my guy, whatever, because they, you know, they'd have formed some level of a friendship or whatever. And so then TJ says, oh yeah, like why he wasn't there. And
the fire.
I think it was.
Didn't he say it was about the fires too? Because like,
well, no, I think last week we heard him say like something about the fire, or that he had to get evacuated or something, just in general. Before he started to go in on her, he said that. And I think this is when Andy was like, well, you know, what did he say or whatever? And Eddie's like, Eddie tried to keep it cute here, y'all. I do believe that he tried to keep it cute at first. And so he was like, well, he said that, you know, he'll never be in DC again, and that, you know, someone owes him money. And Stacey's like, who?
Out of all the people to ask, how you gonna come out your mouth and ask who? Broad.
Exactly. That's why they were all laughing. They're all laughing at her, like, girl, you know who? And Eddie's like, you, like, you know, he said you paid him to be there. And Andy keeps wanting more specifics. And again, I feel like Eddie was trying to keep it cute, / he wasn't even asking him about all these details of, you know, did he say currently or like, or what? Like, he was trying to break it all the way down. And Eddie's like, look, I didn't get into all that, but he did say that she paid him. And so Stacey's like, okay, so I paid him to be my best friend. Like, I owe him money. That's what he said to you. And Eddie's like, in a nutshell, yeah, pretty much. And she's really not helping her claim here, y'all. I felt like, and Jacqueline was like, did you guys catch when Jacqueline was like, that's not very Christian-like, is it? Oh. Shut up, Jacqueline.
She got molded too. She ended up, she thought that that old girl was, she thought that she was gonna say, when she said, oh, I pay him to be my best friend, and Jacqueline was looking at her like, oh, wait a minute, you telling us that? And then she was like, but she was questioning it, but the way she said it, it kind of threw Jacqueline off, and she was like, oh, okay. And that's when she said, oh, that's not Christian. Like, Jacqueline was getting on my nerve too a little bit, just a little bit. I was like, girl, who are you? Now all of a sudden you coming over here. Now, the one who you cheerlead for has walked off. Now you don't really have much to say. So now here you come all holier than thou. Yeah, we hope your baby, you know, because you don't want to be acting crazy having a, you know, with a baby in your stomach. So I was just like, girl, shut up. Shut up, girl.
Mm-hmm. So Eddie's like, look, I only called him to see why he wasn't here. Nothing more, nothing less. Yeah. He said he was invited. He didn't say anything, like, while he sounded upset and more so being like tired of the narrative that's been, you know, painted of him on the show, you know, as far as him coming off very like flamboyant, like, you know, the man is tired of being played with pretty much. And he said again that you owe him money. So Stacey, again, she's not trying to hear this. She just wants to see the footage. And then she even starts again asking him for like more specifics. At one point, she was like, well, that's not what you said 5 minutes ago or whatever. And Stacey's like, I don't owe him any money. I don't even understand like why he would even say something like that, because, you know, I ended it because of the pressure surrounding, she said, like the pressure surrounding, I guess, their relationship, which can we just pause right there and talk about how on one hand, like the way in which she even describes their thing keeps changing too, because it's like best friend versus now you guys were in a relationship, but versus like what, like, huh? So what was going on there for real? Because you always wanted to act like it wasn't what it was, what it wasn't. So what is the proper label that we're supposed to have put on it other than paid employee?
There you go.
Contracted freaking employee, I guess that's what we're gonna call it.
No,
okay,
we're gonna call him the disgruntled employee.
Yeah. That's probably what all those little, like, you know, tiffs and stuff like that we were seeing between them this season and stuff with him, you know, coming at her sideways and stuff like that. That was probably just disgruntled employee ness.
The only thing is, when I think about it, just to go back for one hot second, remember when they are out and he told her, don't touch me? I feel like, so say she did pay him. You don't pay somebody to be nice to you. You're not going to pay somebody to be mean to you. So I was like, so maybe she didn't pay him. Maybe paid is the wrong word. And maybe, you know, she promised, you know, like, you're going to get some exposure. You ain't got to act, or you did. Because we don't know, can the real TJ stand up? Because on the phone, he was a total different person. He had so much testosterone and talking like, yeah, she whack. I said, who's that? was that on the phone? Because any other time it's TJ was talking like a little, he was acting like Gomer Pyle, or he was acting like a little nerdy. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, okay, so you are an actor. You in different scene and scene, you different persons. So I was like, maybe it wasn't a pay where my money. It was pay like, I'm gonna give you your exposure. Just be nice, I'll be your best friend. We'll be best friends. I'm not gonna put too much on you. We don't have to kiss or do anything. We'll tell them we don't even do anything. You don't have to, I can see all of that happening. I don't see nothing about no pay. And I think he did that because she didn't want him to be on the stage with her and them really get caught up in the lie that she spun using him as this paid friend. Because let's be clear, her best friend, the other dude who did not like TJ and said TJ was not the dude for her, that was supposed to be her best friend. So when you say that was best friend, how many best friends you got? You got one best friend, you got two best friends, you got three best friends. How many best friends you got? How many you gonna have? So to me, I feel like the both of them were lying and they couldn't keep up with their lies. And that's why she did say, because clearly Andy said they invited him. She disinvited him or said she didn't want him to be there. And I'm just thinking that don't even make sense. You wouldn't want him to be there. So I think she cut him off like, yeah, you did enough. I used you enough. And so that's why you take that page stuff.
The thing is, I think it's more so that maybe she's not lying. Maybe he's not lying. Maybe there's a bit of truth to what each side is saying, maybe. Mm-hmm. And it's more so like maybe it's not that she was supposed to owe him in money or something. Maybe she was supposed to owe him in some other type of, currency, and then on his side, maybe, I'm just trying to like see, because, sometimes these people get on here and they like to blur the lines and like to, indirectly say things and imply stuff. So maybe, she's like, no, I don't owe him any money. Yeah, you might not owe him any money. Maybe you owe him another type of asset or another type of something, or you're supposed to do there's supposed to be some type of exchange there. I don't know. There's more to this story, and it's Monday. It says the 3rd. So I expect before this week is over, somebody better produce a goddamn receipt, either him or her. I want to see a receipt on my timeline before this week is up, because I need to know, because something in the water is funky, and I we spent minutes on this, so somebody better tell me something.
Here's the other thing. I was looking at what's her face? Stacey's
lying face
language, and like when they I don't know, we haven't got to the phone getting ready, when they let her listen to, everybody was so eager to listen to, so when we're all eager to listen to something and want to hear it, how the first time you didn't hear what it said? Okay, y'all, because I didn't hear it. Everybody was shut up. Everybody, the people across the room heard it. You didn't hear it. Lies. And then she turns around and she's like smiling the whole time that Andy has the phone like that. If you look at Stacey, he's like this. If somebody lied on you and that pissed you off, you think I'm about to be looking at the phone all smiley like, let me see what he said. No, I'm about to be looking at this phone like, my face, my molecular structure would be different. She was over there smiling like the Joker the whole time. And they let it play. Remember, because they played it twice. They played the little snippet, then they had to bring it back. So they said, okay, we're gonna play the whole snippet. And she's sitting there the whole time, the Joker. I said, yeah, girl, you stop putting us in the Twilight Zone. She trying to bring us with her. Don't go for it. That she got that spinning wheel, that little thing that Wendy Williams used to do and hypnotize it. That's what she was trying to do to y'all. That circle little thing. She's trying to hypnotize us, y'all. Stacey's crazy. Stacey's off.
Something's off there. Oh. I think that kind of falls in line with on Watch What Happens Live. I want to say Andy asked her, like, why were you excited when Eddie came out or when he was about to come out or whatever, and she was like, "Oh, I'm excited," or something like that. She said something along those lines, and it's just like, why would you be excited to be?
Mm-hmm. And what she say? Well, everybody was excited, yeah, but everybody's not on the. It's
trying to like fire. Like she was saying it out of sarcasm or something. No, it was very. It's something was off there, y'all.
My friend is in the building. Go ahead.
Shirt on Watch Out Lies. Yeah, bothered by being referred as flamboyant on RHOP, making me sense. Hey, I try to not put people in boxes until they tell me exactly that they want to be placed in said box. Yeah. However, when I saw that, was I like, interesting, blouse option? Yes, I kind of was a little like, okay, this
keyword blouse, keyword blouse, keyword blouse, keyword blouse.
I was like, hey, where'd you buy that? Maybe I want one. So
no, literally, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, that shirt is really nice. And then I look, this is how I look at it. Would my husband wear that shirt? No.
Exactly.
No. Exactly. Would one of my sons wear the shirt? No.
Shirts, and then vice versa. Most of my husband's shirts I don't naturally want to wear then. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, there it is there. Hi, it's my friend from, she lives in Tennessee. That's coming all the way from
Tennessee. I believe her. TJ is butthurt over her breaking up with him. He embarrassed her on the show. I would not have called live on the show either.
Okay, now who thinks to be true?
On national TV. Like, I'm gonna and put it on speaker. Hello, don't lie on me. Click.
Breakup is the word. First of all, best friends don't break up. So when you use the word break up, that means y'all was together. There was a couple situation going on. And even still, because we got TJ on TV saying, true to your point, so I can't come to your house, or what's going on with the divorce, or, like he was acting like a boyfriend. So I see where the breakup and can be.
My best friend.
I just say they both. I say they both lying because, like, I literally was like, when she was talking, I was like, okay, I can see this, I can see it. But then I was like, she lying. They both lying, and they can't keep their story straight. So that's why she didn't call him. And we gonna get to it. She was on I don't know if you watched it, but she was on Watch What's Happening live too, and they spoke afterwards.
Yeah.
So, we only gonna get her side. That's why I'm hoping what you say, Barb, is that somebody comes out with some
somebody send me his Instagram so I can slide in his DM and ask him for an interview, because we need to get the truth to this. There's multiple sides to the story, and we are missing a couple of them. And also, I'm just weird about titles in general. So even before all this came about, and she was just even calling him her best friend, and I'm like, y'all haven't really even been down like that for real. And like, again, he ain't even come over your house or whatever. There's certain like wickets you need to hit before you can be labeled as best friend, in my opinion. And y'all weren't even that hitting those wickets. So I was just confused even from then. I've been confused since day one, y'all.
Did we see TJ around her daughter?
No, she was not trying to have. No, he wasn't allowed to come to the house yet. She wasn't ready for all that. Last time I checked, but best friend.
There's no best friends.
There's no nothing. We're cool. We're hanging out from time to time. We're hangout buddies. That's what we're doing. You're not getting any of these labels. Hey, TT. TJ was one way on the show and another way on that FaceTime call. Yes, and AJ actually mentioned that on Watch What Happens Live. Like he said, he's like, I never heard that man talk like that before, ever. So again, I'm not saying that she's straight up just 100% lying, but I'm also not saying he's straight up 100% lying. Something here, two ships right for the night. Like something is weird here, y'all.
I think she was trying to orchestrate or produce her own first season. That is not how that works.
Because why didn't we hear anything about the divorce? We don't even know why she got divorced.
Why didn't she just stick to that script? Why didn't she just stick to that?
There's a reason. Exactly. She's hiding something.
Yeah.
She could still come back next season, but she's hiding something.
They both lying. Ain't no way. Nobody gonna tell me nothing different. They are both lying. They couldn't keep their lie together. That's why she didn't FaceTime and get it in everybody's face. Because literally, you know what would have happened if she would have FaceTimed him? he probably would have answered like, yeah, I told you what you told me to tell him.
She wouldn't have been able to. Well, it's no. I think that. Wait, I lost it.
Sorry, don't turn it.
She did. Oh, I think she wanted to hear it back twice so that she could listen to get her to like lie together to respond. I think that's why she wanted to hear it back twice. Is what I think. AJ pretty much exposed the real Stacey. That in itself confirmed Stacey was playing in the audience face all this season on RHOP. Yes, about that, about the Vivian thing too, makes me look at her weird. Like there's been, it's not just the TJ thing, y'all. We ain't really seen her house like that. I don't even know what she drives. So I think there's been a couple things here that we don't know about. I'm still trying to figure out why exactly you left QVC. Like there's a couple things there that
even her first scene, she walked in all vibrant, color popping, looked like she was about to be a boss. Then we didn't see nothing boss like after that. It was like, wait, what happened? Everything was about TJ, and girls don't like me, and they don't think I have rhythm and my body. And I'm like, girl, give us something else because you're starting to sound dense. You're starting to sound airheadish. Chrissy Snow.
Yeah, it's like whenever she's knocked off of that like nice girl path, yeah, she starts to sound and look like a liar and sound crazy. As long as she's on her good girl path, it's fine. But as soon as she gets knocked off of it, it's weird, man. I think I guess we kind of hit on everything with this now, but there is one other thing I wanted to say about this. Okay. Where is it? Stacey, I love you. Oh, like she kept like trying to grill Eddie and stuff or whatever. And it's like, first of all, he's not the one who lied. So relax. He's just telling, like, we literally got the footage. There's no way he's making this up. But Stacey, when she was like, I love you, Wendy. And out of love for you, I have respect for your husband. I don't know you to be liars. I don't think you make things up for clout, but in this instance, it's not true. And if TJ said these things, I invite him to come and say it to my face. I feel like that was her, like, literally saying, like, you guys are doing this for clout, and she was calling you liars. I hope you caught that, Wendy. I'm sure she did.
To your face. Literally was basically saying, I love you, but I don't believe you or your husband. And until I hear from TJ, I'm not going to believe you. Now, we put TJ out there. He wasn't talking directly to you, but he said that, and you still like, I don't know why he said that. Well, we don't know either. But what we do know is that he said it. What are you going to do? I'm going to get my lawyer. And that's something that they should have asked on WWHL. Why y'all didn't ask her about that? But go ahead. Because that made me mad. I was like, why didn't you ask her if she got did she get the lawyer to talk to him when you talk to him? Your lying self.
It's weird, man. It's weird. But shout outs to Eddie, the whistleblower, for the Lord's work. And I mean, how do y'all feel about that? Do you guys feel like Wendy somehow helped orchestrate that, or do you feel like that organically happened the way that we saw it happen? I feel like it did happen that way. I think that, and even if it didn't, I think it still needed to be happened because something clearly, again, as TT said, something in the milk is not clean. So whether or not it was a little bit orchestrated or not, it still needed to be happen, and I'm totally okay with how it went down. I think maybe she wanted to be in a sexual relationship, but she couldn't move forward in a real relationship because of his BS of no sex. It's hard for me to even go back to like trying to dissect the whole no sex part because I just don't, the whole thing, the umbrella over it all just is telling me that it's just weird all around. So I can't even really hyper focus and sit and really assess the no sex part again.
All right, let's go with this. If even with that, with what you're saying, why would he call her whack? Why would he call her whack if it was a relationship? And then another thing, when a man, let's not say that there's a couple of things. Remember when I asked her, did you do anything? And it was like, oh, was it sexual? Did y'all? She said, well, yeah, we did, but not. That was, and then Gizelle said something like, well, did you like grab it or something like that? But she literally was like, I mean, we did stuff. So for me, I'm like, on TV and y'all like each other, we don't get handsy type. Y'all don't hold hands enough. He gave her a kiss on the cheek a couple of times. Like if they went and ate and sat down and ate, he made pancakes. They ate at somebody's house, one of their houses, probably his.
He made her those that whack ass lunch. That's what he should be calling whack. That fucking that fake pizza and fake fruit
wine, the wine and the pizza and the. So I just don't see them like, I don't look at them like they were in like of each other. Like, you know, Stacey was talking a good game, but she also talked a good game about Vivian. She talked a good game about anything she's talking about, she talked a good game. And then even when we got her at the lawyer's office, and I didn't know that he had these properties, talking about her husband. I didn't know. I'm like, girl, do you know anything? Do you know anything? You don't know nothing. So I see your point, but I don't see no chemistry. I didn't see nothing that made me be like, oh no, they want to hunch on each other.
Really acted like he was disgusted by her. Like it's like, you know, on shows or whatever, when it's like, oh, you like put your hand on the person's like, get your hand off me. Like that's literally the energy it gave, which again would still be kind of weird. If I'm paying you, I would pay you to think that like I would think you like, yeah, nice. But it's also like if I'm not paying you and you really, you know, we are supposed to be like in like or whatever, then act like you like me. It's just something is weird, y'all. Stacey is the Little Liars. The Little Liars stuff. I don't know. Or
the Big Liars Club, either one.
Like we always commend and we always love to hear different opinions, y'all. So this is a safe space for everybody to, you know.
It absolutely is, because look, I was absolutely like,
your perspective.
I was giving Stacey the benefit of the doubt when she was saying. I was like, okay, maybe, you know, okay, yeah, he did, because I was mad that he came at her the way he came at her. He was very disrespectful to her. So I was like, okay, I get it, and your family got it. Okay, okay, but then it just started. It didn't. The story still wasn't lining up. It started getting weird. I'm like, yes, Stacey was subliminally, you know, I can't say that word, calling Eddie a liar without actually saying it directly. That is the word, Sally. For real. She literally said that. I love y'all, but he didn't say it. And if he did, I still don't know why y'all would tell me and bring it here, right here in this moment, because dang, that's what she was really thinking. She didn't say that to me. She was thinking, why would they bring it right here right now? Dang. Y'all supposed to be young to love me.
I feel like that should show you guys that Wendy could have even went harder than she wanted to, because at that moment she could have been like, oh, so you're calling me a liar? Okay. Like she could have really took it up a notch, and she didn't. So I think that because a lot of people are saying like, oh, like Wendy like want to act like she's her friend, but she orchestrated this whole thing and that's so mean girl of her and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, she could have went in on her right there for calling her a liar. She didn't. Disagree.
For sure.
Yeah, Karen brought her on. Yeah,
Karen brings everybody on because she takes them to go have a lunch or two and prep them.
For Gizelle to be the face of the franchise or whatever, she hasn't brought anybody on. Interesting.
Because she always had a side damn kick. She couldn't bring somebody on when she had
Robin or whatever, but like she's never.
She ain't bringing. How you gonna bring somebody on with Robin sitting there? Now she can. She can now.
Karen brought on Mia. Yeah. Interesting. Whatever. Yeah, it's
the other one, the skinny one that Karen's husband was on. The one that started having mental problems.
Katie? Well, Katie was an OG, so I don't.
Oh, Katie was OG. I can remember. I'm like, damn, did she get brought on? Okay, she was an OG, and then
when we think about it, there really hasn't been that many people like
people brought on.
Ashley brought on Aneka. There hasn't really been that much. There's not a lot of turnover with this show, so actually, it don't really matter. But speaking of Ashley, so did you guys catch this little tidbit when Ashley said, well, you know, there's nothing wrong with it if you felt like you wanted to be on the show or whatever. I'm like, was Ashley trying to get Stacey to tell on herself? I don't know. I felt like that was a little weird. Like,
was.
That's not weird, Ashley.
Was.
Like, what do you mean that's not weird? So does that mean you would lie about the same thing? Or I don't know. You never know with that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. She was like, was she trying to bait her in, or was she saying it like it was okay if she did that? I see.
Yeah, either way, it's weird. I was confused. I wish they would have looked at her and been like, "What do you mean by that, Ashley?" But I don't know. Again, Stacey, she's proclaiming her innocence. Period. And Gizelle was not having it. Is this when they played the? Is this when they played the clip? Oh, this is when Wendy gave her the disclaimer and said, like, first of all, Stacey, at the end of the day, if you come back on here telling a different story pretty much, and you know, talking about TJ cleared it up or it never happened or whatever, understand these women, we're not going to believe you and your character will be in question or whatever. And that's when, like, again, Gizelle was all alley-ooping and stuff behind her. And again, Stacey's like, you know, I said my truth, so you know, it is what it is. And Andy is still trying to get the control room to give him this footage. And this is when he actually got word that Mia has officially left the building, and everybody was just kind of like,
the building? She left the building? Yes. She could have left the show and the building a long time ago. She could have did that in the beginning when ink is permanent before you even said those words. You could have been gone. Yeah. Oh, okay. I wasn't for sure. I could get, man. I've been watching for so long I couldn't remember. Y'all know I'm older. Y'all know I'll be forgetting.
This always makes me giggle that Ashley did bring on Candace.
Okay, because I was like, who else came on that? Okay.
Bring on Wendy.
Wait, she did bring on Candace on because they were friends. I mean, you know, they did the passion. Yeah, the pageants. I
think Candace brought on Wendy then. Yeah. Just weird, y'all. I'm trying to get to the point where I don't like how I did my notes today. I'm trying to get to where Andy actually watched or played the clip or whatever. Oh yeah, it's here. So right after that, he moves next to Stacey and they roll the clip and we get Eddie saying, you know, I miss y'all, or TJ, whatever. Miss y'all, man. You know, miss y'all too. We got to link up next time you're in DC. And TJ goes, I'm not be in DC again. He was like, you know, she just paid me to be on that show, man. I ain't going on that fake ass show with those fake ass people. They obviously, you know, didn't invite me. Like, y'all got to talk to her and tell her to give me my money. Like, she's whack, man. Like, that's it. And again, Stacey asked to hear it again. Everybody's like, oh my God. And the first person to speak up was actually Jacqueline talking about so y'all were calling me and Mia a liar, but shut up, Jacqueline. Shut up and stay down there at your baby bump is what I would have told her.
Rub on your belly, little lady.
And I do feel like, again, Andy was continuously feeding Stacey her outs, like saying like, you know, well, did you maybe like, we used to like fly him out maybe? And then like, no, I don't understand why he would say that. I would never,
well, you know. It's because hurt people hurt people. That's it. Stacey, if you don't go away, I mean, far away from me with that. I mean, as far as you can go to the ends of the earth with that. Look, hurt people because I broke up with him. He's hurt. And so he's lying on me. And Wendy and her husband are liars too.
Like,
out of my face, Stacey.
Y'all, like, I would never call y'all dumb at all. But like, I can't be the only one that sees it like that. Like, just based off of her expression and just the way that she was coming off, like something there was not 100% real. Like, y'all had to see that. I was watching it just like looking like, who is buying this right now? This lady is acting. She's acting too.
It was bad acting, and it was QVC acting. It was acting.
She couldn't explain anything. So yes, when the Venmo, the Cash Apps, when some receipts are produced, they just gonna be produced.
But or again, a text message, like they said. And if he bring out a text message or anything, I said, that's what you know. It was the way Ashley said it. Well, what if he has text messages, babe? I said, Ashley, shut up. Shut up with the babe. Why y'all keep being so condescending to her? Why y'all calling her babe, love, this, that? Y'all know, doggone well this lady's lying in y'all face. Y'all sitting here trying to really just we're here for you. Just tell us. I'm like, girl, I'm telling y'all, she got us in the Twilight Zone. I don't get out. They should have kicked her off the stage. You know, you can go with Mia, right? Get out of here.
Thank you, Kevin. You know, I love talking to y'all up here. But yeah, what I mean, like, there's something hurt people, like everything she was saying was just so like, oh, that's the perfect thing that someone would say in this situation. And that's just like, I'm just gonna say, you know, whatever to throw them off my trail, but I'm really not. It's just, please tell me y'all weren't buying
it. It's just so disingenuous. Nothing sounds heartfelt from the heart. There's not a tear. Not that I wanted to cry. Please don't. But I'm just saying, like, nothing is heartfelt or sounds genuine or make me be like, literally when she first, like, when she first opened her mouth and then started saying, you know, I didn't do that, and everybody was, you know, looking at how he was, and we were together, and I was like, wait, y'all together? Or you're not? You're best friends or you're not? You know, that you keep confusing, or you're trying to confuse us. You're trying to blur, like you said, she's trying to blur the lines on us, and I'm tired of it.
Yeah. And I feel like if she had some other action throughout the season that could like back it up to make us like, you know, compare and contrast and be like, oh, that's not possible because of this or whatever. But there's been a lot of inconsistencies, and there's been a lot of just missing information about her in totality. Not even, again, just about the whole TJ thing, in totality here, that it's just something's crazy there, y'all, and you can't convince me otherwise. But and then again, she's like, you know, her whole thing too was like, oh, all season you guys were basically like telling me to, you know, watch out for him, only for him now to say this, and now you guys are on his side versus me, and you know me. And they're like, well, again, like, actually, this is probably one time where Kay did say something and I was actually laughing. She's like, you know what? This is bullshit. Like,
totally.
In her Baltimore accent, she's like, this is bullshit. You know, we're gonna let these people bring this phone out here, and this is bullshit. So please just stop it. And I was like, thank you. Like, somebody must see it. And so then Wendy was like, no, I gave you the opportunity to clear it up, and you didn't or whatever. And I'm glad they played that clip.
Beautiful clean footage.
27 minutes prior, where Wendy, again, she gave her the opportunity to, you know, course correct, and she chose not to. So it is what it is, y'all. And again, Andy's like, do you still not want to call him? No, like, I'll call him with my attorneys. Okay, next subject.
I wish I had a cap right here so I could stop capping. Can you stop capping? Because nobody, like, at this time when you say she thought that was gonna be like, okay, now that's what I would do. Everybody was just like, next. Next.
Because she keeps defending herself by like saying like, oh, like, well, you should see my DMs, or I don't have to pay anybody to be on it. I think that's what she said. She's like, I don't have to pay anybody to be on this platform or any other platform. And it's just like, okay, a lot of people rich people don't need to rob banks, but they do sometimes. So what are we talking about here? Like, a lot of people don't need to do the things that they do in life, but somehow here we are, right? So again, she's not helping her case, but luckily that was where we ended. And again, like I said in the beginning, y'all, this was like 30 plus minutes at this point. I was just kind of like,
but like Kevin said, that's because they was filling it up because we needed Karen. We need to have our Karen segment. So
I said that last week, yeah. And I feel like Karen probably could have added some value to this moment or whatever, but she decided to drink and drive. So that's the way that cookie crumbles, y'all.
Here she go, Kev. We were not in a relationship. We were not in a relationship. That's Jedi mind tricks. No, we were not in a relationship. Yes. Okay, go ahead.
What are you doing?
I love Star Wars.
So we finally put her lying by way of TJ to rest, thankfully, and we turned the tables back on Karen. As we were just speaking about in her DUI. So of course they play some clips pertaining to her whole DUI matter from the season. And Andy starts, even though Karen's not there, he starts asking them about asking them like viewer questions. The first one being, has anybody seen this side of, Keiarna? I've been hearing these rumors for years and stuff like that. Have any of you guys seen this side of her? And pretty much everybody says yes, except I don't think Kay did, but everybody's like, yeah. And they were like, do you believe she has a drinking problem? And pretty much again, everybody's like, yeah. They've seen the side of her, and I think it was Ashley specifically that spoke up and was like, yes, I do feel like Karen abuses alcohol inappropriately to like cope with things in her life. She said something to that effect, not verbatim. But I think that, she was lashing out to distract from the case, or he asked, do they think that she was lashing out to distract from things pertaining to the case? And again, yes. So then he focuses on Jacqueline coming for Karen all season over her drinking. And he's like, so how do you feel knowing the verdict now? And Jacqueline's like, first of all, Mia threw me on the glass. By conversation between her and I. And Ashley's like, no, because when we were, down there tattooed, whatever, you came and told us that you brought that information to us. And we've seen that unseen footage of Jacqueline telling them, not being forced, not under duress, nothing like that. Jacqueline openly was telling them, her 2 cents on the matter or whatever.
I don't think it sounds malicious though. When she was telling him, did it sound concerning to you, or did you think she was just trying to fit in, or just have something to talk about in that moment? Like, I feel all those things can be true at the same time. But I'm just saying, I don't feel like she was telling them, like, girl, let me tell you. Yeah, I get that.
But it's just like, you openly divulge something on your own. Yes, you did. So you got to deal with whatever comes back of that. Like, even I don't believe that every single time somebody opens their mouth when they're not supposed to, is it always done in malice or to be messy? No, but sometimes it could just be negligent. And, in this case, I think it could be labeled at a minimum negligent for her to have said that. And it still allows Karen to feel, some type of way or whatever, because although we don't agree with her drinking and driving, like, don't get me wrong here, y'all, she's still dead ass wrong for drinking and driving or whatever. Jacqueline, you did, divulge something that and speak on something and, shine light on something that she would have rather not, have the light shined on. So I guess,
Gizelle did speak on that.
She was allowed to feel that way. Yeah. And we'll talk about that here now, like where Gizelle had to break it down and say, the whole thing was rooted in the fact that at this time, we were filming or whatever, her court date, she didn't want anything to basically be used against her or to be, used against her or whatever. So that was what you weren't getting, Jacqueline, or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I can understand looking at it from Karen's perspective. I guess, I can understand that. But then Wendy jumps in and be like, well, that's the thing though, because when we were filming or whatever, she kept, Karen kept pushing her court case back, which is odd to me because in my opinion, I would have much rather gone to court before the show even aired. So it's like, that kind of makes sense too. Mm-hmm. And then so from there, and then Giselle's like, like she was trying to get things thrown out, like some bad paperwork or trying to say that they, freaking her Miranda rights, whatever. So then, of course, Andy brings up the heart-shaped balloons and was that like something that landed correctly or not? And Jacqueline's like, no, it didn't or whatever. And at first she does admit that she was coming there. It was done to be messy or whatever. But then and that was because of what how she came for her over her child's father. And then she switched it up to be more positive in hopes of not being or not stressing Karen out or having her be stressed out or whatever with her, looming court case and stuff like that. And it was just like,
losing the card in if you didn't want to let stress. I mean, you were trying to stress Karen out, liar.
I'm just glad that she admitted that. I'm like, as long as it flopped, thank God, because I hope you didn't think it didn't flop. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then he also asked her about the charges that, is it right here? Actually I have that clip. Which they actually asked Ashley about how this this didn't age well. But I remember this clip right here where Karen said the same thing, which again, this didn't age well either.
Arrest her. Clank the clank, bitch.
So yeah, speaking of that, that's when Andy had asked, like, okay, like those charges that Karen said she's gonna press or whatever, like, did that come to fruition? And she's like, girl, after this whole court case, I don't think Karen's gonna have any money to sue anybody after this. And they were like, ooh, that was messy. Like, stop it. You tried it. Kay was like, okay, that's a reach. But Ashley slamming Karen's legal, or this is also when Andy asks Kay, being as though everything has come out now, like, how does she feel about it or whatever? And Kay was like, you know, she thought basically they were closer than that, and you know, Karen could have at least come to her because she could have extended some of Greg's resources, since he does have the clinic or whatever with the substance, and he deals with substance abuse issues and stuff like that. She could have privately offered her some assistance, but instead she kept saying she was fine, and she had to just take her for that. And can you bring up how weeks prior her counsel had requested the footage be repressed before she went to trial? So it's clear that they were aware of the footage and the context, because then it starts getting into this whole, like, and I think that's been something that we have also independently, like, scrutinized, like, okay, if she saw this footage, why would she ever try to challenge, you know, going against this or trying to take this to trial when that footage was incriminating AF? Right. So they kind of weigh in on that. Ashley slammed her legal counsel, which I'm like, I get what you were trying to say, Ashley, but at the same time, ultimately, all they can do is advise. Ultimately, if you want to if you pay them or whatever, they can advise you, like, hey, this is not a good look for you to take this to trial, or, you know, do whatever. But ultimately, Karen, I feel like, probably was like overriding whatever legal guidance they gave her, and she was, you know, standing, because you got to think about it like this, y'all. She probably did think that she was going to get off this time. She got off 3 other times. So why would this?
Do you think she saw that footage?
She had to, just like Wendy said, or she had to be privy to it at least, because just like Wendy said, that that footage came out, or they filed that to get it repressed or whatever. So at a minimum, they would have had to see it. Or we got some lawyers in here. Somebody weigh in on this, because I feel like yes, even if she didn't see it, they would have had to have seen it, and they would have had to let her know, like, hey, this is probably not in your best interest to do this or whatever. But her being somebody that's gotten off not once, not twice, but 3 whole times, she was probably like, oh no, like, it can, you know, it'll be fine this time around. So even if it looks bad, I'm sure that, you know, my social status can get me, you know, off the hook, I'm sure, or I can throw whatever money at it and be fine. So it's just,
I don't know. I'm like, I don't think she saw it, but I'm pretty sure her legal team saw it, and anybody with common sense or could see that she was lit.
As Gizelle said, even if after she saw it or whatever, after, she still, I think, had the option. She could have still had the option to request to take them up on those two deals, either the 6 months house arrest or the 60 days in jail. So she still had a couple opportunities to course correct. Like, but I mean, we got to think about the timing. That footage didn't come out until December, right before Christmas or whatever. But that they had submitted that ahead of time, meaning they had to have caught wind of what that evidence was about before then. So yeah, that's what I mean when I say, like, I don't have a law background, so, but I know just the way that it's broken down tells us that she was privy to it, and she still decided to go above and beyond and try to, you know, take matters into her own hands. And I can't agree with that. I can't. And that was, Gizelle said that about the 2 deals, but she did say that didn't come straight from Karen's lawyers. That's just what she heard from a credible source or whatever. Clankety clank. So we finally hear Ashley bring up how the night after her accident, a journalist texted her things about the incident, or I skipped past it, y'all, but earlier on, after Gizelle broke down how her original court dates were, you know, her main concern, whatever, Wendy, she had something to say, but she wouldn't speak on it. She was like, you know what, I'm keeping myself, I ain't even gonna say it, like, whatever. And that's another part where I was kind of like, okay, Wendy, like, don't even say anything if you're not gonna say it. Like, so that's where you see, y'all, even though I can, you know, hit her over the head and say, girl, like, do better sometimes. And that was one of those moments.
I was posturing. I was like, don't posture. And if you don't tell her, don't do that again, because I don't want to see you have a whole conflict within yourself about should you or should you not. Like, just keep it in your head. Don't bring it to us. So yeah, I agree with you.
So crazy.
Hey, Miss Curves. Hey, Elijah, how are you today? Hope everything is good. I love you.
Yes, happy Monday.
Especially if you're following our girl, Elijah Curves. Got the BISness all the time.
The season,
the season. I would probably give it about an 8. It wasn't a 10. It wasn't a knockout for me. Of course, Karen didn't like what happened with Karen, but yeah, I might even give them a 7.5. Actually, I can bring it down a little bit because it wasn't nothing really going on. Stacey didn't bring nothing. Sorry, Kay, she didn't bring really anything. Ashley, she was Ashleying. TikToking and shaking her butt and being half naked, that's what she does. And, we like it. We like it. She's not my favorite or nothing, but Gizelle, I was happy to see her trying to talk to Wendy, but in all, she lets me know that it's just because she don't have Robin there. So it had nothing to do with her really genuinely trying to build a friendship with Wendy. I don't think so, because of what she said at the end of the show. I'm like, oh yeah, you still got hint of feelings. So yeah, no.
It's just so crazy to me. Yeah, I would probably say the same thing, like 7.5. I mean, it wasn't. No, it was a lot. And don't get me wrong, that's a strong 7.5. Because we got to compare it to the previous seasons that we've seen that were just like, oh God, like made you want to, pull your hair out. So, it wasn't bad to me. Karen's ego is she now has the current sentence. Honestly, 2 years was not enough. I'm just saying. I think she got off lucky even with that. She got off luckier if she had the opportunity to take those 2 deals. You would have seen me in here with my ankle bracelet kicked up, honey. Okay, or actually, I probably would have went to jail. Honestly, I probably would have did the 60 days, knowing me. But
either way, you knew. Here's the thing: she knew herself. She had more than 1, more than 2, more than 3 DUI. So in that, when somebody's giving you a plea deal, and you know that you got all these multiple things against you, like your brain should just already say, you know what, this is them slapping me on my wrist. Yeah, I'm gonna be at home. I'm taking house arrest. I mean, because now here's the thing. I'm kind of with Barb though. Going to jail, she wouldn't have did 60 days. They would have got her. She would have did less than that, I think.
Or overcrowding or something stupid.
Either overcrowding this, just anything could have happened. I don't think they would have let her do a full 60 days. She might have did 30 of those days and then credited. I don't know. I just feel like when somebody puts a plea deal in front of you, unless you are facing life without parole, like what are you doing? Like, what? Yeah.
I would rate season 7 to 7.5. The reunion was better than the entire season. Yeah, there were a lot of dead moments for us, I want to say. I think the cast trip could have been a lot better. I did appreciate it not being as we didn't have, well, as Gizelle would say, we weren't talking about the isms constantly. But I do feel like it was a lot more lighthearted than previous seasons. I think it was a little bit more of a breath of fresh air as compared to, especially like last season. I feel like was like because I even said it. If you guys go and rewatch my reviews from last season. Like it took a lot for me to be like, okay, I'm gonna come back into this season and then we're gonna see what it's about. And I gave them like one episode. I was like, I'm gonna give you one episode and see what you guys are talking about. Otherwise, I'm out, because it got to where, you know, this was really like not cute at all. There was a lot of issues, I feel like, and I still do believe there's a lot of issues, but they just know how to present it better, I guess, in a better package. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see where it continues to go. And Gizelle this season, like, I still was not like, I took her for this, you know, oh, she's trying to rewrite her identity and trying to, you know, go back into this her first lady tag and stuff like that. But I'll never forget the North still remembers. Like, there's still gonna be a piece of me that can never just give her my full honest like support, because I know that it still takes that person to drop it as low as she's dropped it in all the seasons prior. Like, it's going to take, it's going to take a whole lot for me to continue to bring down that barometer. Yes. Like the videos, y'all. I gave it a full,
I knew when you asked. I knew when she asked me.
Hey, we respect all y'all's opinions and thoughts and stuff like that. We all, you know, have our own independent eyes. RHOP was a C all season. That it was like, I think it started off good for me, and then it kind of was like, okay, what are we doing? And then the finale, the reunion brought it back up to me for me.
Yeah.
Her lawyer said, "Oh, I can get you off this. Don't worry about it. Just sit tight." And she followed what her lawyer said. I think the lawyer followed what she said. I think the lawyer followed what she said, knowing how like self-righteous she came off and stuff like that, and knowing this isn't the same legal counsel from the last 3 times or whatever. More than likely, in my opinion, she was like, "No, we're gonna do this." I don't seeing that footage. No sound and astute lawyer attorney is going to be like, we could do this, especially in Maryland. Like, no, you can't tell me that anybody would just be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I can get you off," and just completely feel confident in that. No, seeing that, like,
it was her first one. But being a fourth one, it's like, girl, don't do that.
All the odds stacked against her. Open alcohol bottles, like, just the stuff that she was saying, like, it was really like not good.
Understand? Hey, sister. Hey, Nola. I'm still trying to figure out, because they didn't even go into it deep enough. Was it or was it not a person in the car? Was she driving or was she not? She said she wasn't driving at the accident site. She said,
I think that was a reach.
I said, girl, okay. I
think that was a reach, and it's like it wasn't really like Ashley. Okay, this person told her that. Why did this person tell you that? Were they just saying that because the only thing that we heard is, Karen, is your only receipt Karen saying it in the footage right there? Because if that's the case, we can't take her for, you know, being real.
She was also Thomas Jefferson's concubine. So why would we take what she said serious?
I think that she I thought it was going to be more of a dun 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 moment when Ashley said that, but it fell flat for me.
It did. Absolutely. I ain't mad at it, TT. I was being very generous. I was calculating the reunion season together. So I thought it was a 5 on the season, and that 2.5 came with the reunion.
But I still say it's one of their better seasons in recent years for me. It is. Said that she was having drink. Oh yeah. And then, you know, they go into like, okay, where exactly was Karen coming from? And I actually liked when Stacey chimed in to say, and furthermore, these girls, who was she with that allowed her to, and it's, y'all, when I say this, don't take it as though I'm placing the responsibility on anybody else other than Karen. I'm not. But I would think if me and you are out drinking or whatever, and hey, all right, text me tomorrow and I see your freaking, you know, 2 sheets to the wind, I'm not going to like let you obviously get into that certain situation. So yes, Stacey, who allowed her to get in that situation? And furthermore, who was she with? Because then even later she said, Gizelle was like, okay, I think she was leaving a place 4 minutes from her house. Then later on, she's like, there's
a
like been
restaurant bar type place. But here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. The fact that she said that she was 4 minutes around the corner, whatever she said, she also told her husband, when we get to it, she also tells her husband that, I was with my friend. I was like, my husband literally gonna say, like, you keep saying friend, who are you with? Why you don't, like, usually you don't say I was with my friend to your husband. You usually say, I was with Barb, I was with Carla, I was with Kevin, I was with Nola, I was with TT, I was with I would say that. I'm not even gonna say that. Like, I'm literally gonna say the person's name, and the fact that she doesn't say the name makes me keep thinking, like, yeah, something is just not right.
Well, I'll say in that moment, I don't really take that as like being weird, because we got to think that they're still in the show and stuff like that. And I guess maybe too, because I'm somebody who shares parts of my life online or whatever. I'm very cognizant of the things I show. And I do feel like, you still are allowed to keep some things private, and not out of a place of being like sketchy or like, oh, who are you with then or whatever. But I don't really think it's weird that she said that in front of the camera. If they were not in front of the camera and she was just like my friend, then yeah, then I would be like, if I was Ray, I'd be like, who's the friend or whatever. But in front of the camera,
she kind of was saying that in front of the officer. She wasn't giving out that, like, literally, that's what Ray was saying. Ray was saying, yes, from my understanding, she was with her friend and she only had a couple of beers. And I'm like, you would say she left her girlfriend's house. She left her, like, literally the way I don't know.
That's weird then. Okay.
He did. He said that when it came up, he said that. He literally said that. He said, she was with her friend, and and it looks like she had a couple of beers, and behind the wheel. I'm like, what friend? Then we get that she was on the phone with her cousin, and the cousin didn't even pay attention to how drunk she was. And it's funny that Jacqueline could tell that she had been drinking when she talked to her and said it to the girls, but the cousin couldn't tell that she was that lit. What? It was worst legal claim, right? Her lawyers is not why she has a current sentence that was handed to her. I don't think that. I think I agree with that. I can't see, because you hire them. They have to do what you tell them.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, yeah. They told her, this is not what you want. And she probably was like, bullshit. Let's take it to trial. I could like, y'all can't tell me you can't see Karen doing that. She seems like the type of person, based off of all this and all these little snippets of different parts of her life that we're starting to see. You guys can't sit here and tell me that she's proved, obviously her being in the situation has proved that these rumors about her are true or whatever for all these years. So obviously one could only assume that, with that comes, some type of grandiose self-image that she has about herself or something. I think Wendy know who the friend is.
I think they all might. Like, I think I think some people will know more than what they're saying, just and they're trying to spare Karen. But Karen was doing a lot, because we're gonna find out, later in this episode, some things that I was just like, see, Karen, you have too much idle time, honey. You got too much idle time.
Yeah, she want to be the neighborhood mom and stuff like that. Why isn't she should have, there's a lot of stuff she could be doing that is more grand dame-ish, I think, than getting day drunk down at the bar every day. But anyway, speaking of that, bring it on home, y'all. They didn't play this clip. Jacqueline leaves, and then they play this is when Wendy was acting like something on her mind, but she don't want to say. They play this clip of Karen on December 27th, the day before she went to rehab for 48 hours. So we see her and Ray at home, and she's in the same attire that she had from the video that she thanked everybody but Wendy in, and acknowledged everybody with Wendy. She's still in that same getup. So she's sitting on her bed or whatever, and she says that she didn't watch the clips before the trial. She didn't, and neither did Ray. She didn't want him to she didn't want him to see her like that. And y'all don't, I'm not making fun of alcohol related offenses by any means, but I need to add some humor to this because this is how I took it. Like you guys were playing in our faces with this clip. So get that disclaimer. She was like, she didn't recognize the woman in those videos. And he was like, it wasn't you. No, that wasn't you. And she's like, but when I heard the clips back or whatever, when I'm hearing it, it definitely made me hear, because I actually blacked out before the impact, before I hit the tree. And, it is my fault. And Ray was like, yeah, there's that construction there or whatever. And she was like, yeah, there's construction, but Ray, baby, I did do that. I did do that. It is my fault. And, even before mom and dad, I have been self-medicating with antidepressants. And at first, I was taking it as stated. And, but after a while, life got to lifing and I decided to up the dosage. And so that night, when it says friend, I do have friends in my notes. When I was at a friend's house and, we started off drinking, we had opened a Stella Artois and I was like, I didn't really like the beer. Mind you, those are the beer bottles we've seen in her car. So I guess, okay. Anyway, but then, we moved to champagne and then I had forgotten that I took the medication earlier. And
the updose.
Yeah. And I'm not taking it as prescribed. I upped the dosage. So again, and we had already talked about the drinking and driving and stuff. He's like, oh yeah, because that's why I hired you driver, because 12 to 13 years ago when you had the DUI, I guess you feel especially bad to be in this situation now or whatever. That's why we got you the driver, and then the whole blue eyes thing, and so I
it was so rehearsed.
Break down the statistics, y'all, and the 6 million people, get in car accidents a year, and here you back in square one again. So, is this you're going to this facility? Is this going to be up to the Grand Dame's standards? And she's like,
I need you to stop.
You know what? I might just retire that because Karen Huger, she's been enough. She's been enough. And I should have glued a mole onto my face. She's like, I've been enough, and I'm just gonna come back out with that. So, and mind you, the whole time we get, in the corner, the ladies are like, this is performative. Like, are you serious? And Wendy too. She's like, what about the beer bottle? What about the in the car? What are we doing here, y'all?
Ironic that the Oscars was on last night too. Go ahead.
They deserve an Academy Award for this, because I was like, so I was cringing as I was watching it, and more so like I'm like, bless Ray's heart, because when I say like, I don't know if it's good or bad to have people behind you that windmill for you that hard, because Karen's had everybody in her family windmilling everybody incessantly behind her, daughters, husbands, cousins, everybody. Hairdressers. Her hairdresser was online all up in arms last week about, this is breaking our heart, and we're a family. Anyway, right. It's just like, it's been a lot with her, and I'm glad the ladies, Gizelle's like, yeah, there was no accountability there at all. There's no responsibility. That whole thing needs to be scrapped, cut it off.
Now I wonder, did they play it? Because I watched it on Peacock, so I wonder. I mean, I'm sure they played it, but I wonder like, all of that whole scene. Like when she was like, scrap it. Like I was like, they're not scrapping it. They need this. They need that being for it. Like, what are you talking about?
I mean, she was talking about. I guess she was talking about that whole performance or whatever. No, obviously they didn't scrap it if we saw it, but I'm just like, Anyway, let me just finish this up and then we'll talk about it. So then we get Ashley, talking about, she was on her way up there via the train, and she had this man she was talking to or whatever. Like, oh, you're in the show. Oh, what show? Oh, oh, I know this lady. Huh? Oh, you do? Yeah, I used to work at Legal Seafoods. Shout out to Legal Seafoods. I love Legal Seafoods. she was like, yeah, so I know this lady or whatever. She used to come down there and get drunk every day at the bar or whatever. And he turns the phone around and it was no one other than Karen Huger. And so this was actually happening very long time before her parents, FYI. And this is when
How long our parents been gone? 5 years? How long our parents been gone?
Like, yeah, something like that. So then Wendy chimes in to say, so that's what I was going to say to y'all before that, I went to a certain place, which was weird. Like, Wendy just say the name of the restaurant. But anyway, this is, you see, I'm holding her accountable, y'all. Don't say that.
I'm reason why she probably didn't, because those people still might work there and she don't want them to be harassed, or which one of y'all, or
this might be our favorite restaurant,
or bartender, or I'm thinking devil's advocate.
Because I don't know, it was just kind of weird. But anyway, so she's like, while we were filming, they were like, so we're on the show with Karen, or you're on the show with Karen or whatever. And she was like, yeah. And she said, well, she comes here every day and gets drunk. Mic drop. So again, Stacey's like, well, no matter how she's getting there, she's getting the help that she needs. And, again, she did admit in this little clip that she didn't see the footage prior to trial. Bullshit. And Stacey does believe that. Gizelle doesn't. And when they break it down and, say, like, no matter what, her legal counsel knew, because they're the ones that sent in that appeal, is what it comes down to, y'all. Whatever. So they then think about, how she's facing jail time. This is before, obviously, she got sentenced. So all they can do is speculate and say, well, Karen, she's 60-some years old. Like, that ain't nobody place for, somebody to be in jail. And, they can't even have their wigs there. They have to wear their real. This is still Housewives, y'all. They got to wear their real hair, so, and that's basically where we leave that off. And then, of course, to wrap things up, Andy goes around, give people, their kudos on where their future's going, and, a one-liner about how they were in the season and stuff. And Ashley, by the time this airs, your divorce will be final. And
did we find out if is the girl divorced?
Yeah. That came out like last month, I want to say.
I was like, I think she is, but okay.
Kay's shopping for rings. I'm not even going to get back on that because we'll be up here for another hour. Y'all know how I feel about that.
You see me shaking my head. That's all we can say.
Gizelle and Wendy may have more in common than they thought. Ha ha ha.
Nobody cares.
Stacey, what does the future have for you and TJ? This future has nothing for me and TJ. It's just going to be Stacey and, still I rise. Okay, Maya Angelou. Speaking of Maya Angelou, Mia Angelou. She couldn't take the heat. She had to exit the kitchen early, which is bullshit, according to them.
Mm-hmm. And what?
Wendy had to let it know, though, that she clocked Mia's tea since day one. And that's when Gizelle was like, girl, like, you always got to let something be known that you knew something.
I mean, Gizelle clocked it too, because she was on her first on too. I mean, they wasn't really. I don't think anybody really was feeling Mia when she first came on like that. It wasn't like everybody was like, "Hey, Mia, she's so cool." Nobody was on Mia like that. She just would say things that would come out of her mouth that everybody was like, "Wait, Mia," and then she would keep going. So they're like, "Girl, tell us more," like. But not in no good way, more like, girl, tell us more. You kind of weird. Okay. You gonna add this to our show. That's what I got from it. Did they ever discuss her drinking in the past? They said Charisse did. So Charisse did. Charisse was the only one that always was trying to tell when they were talking about the Grand Dame. Charisse was the only one that would be like, she's an alcoholic, or she's been drinking too much, and she got, she's even said that, allegedly that she was tossed up in the bathroom because she was tossed up.
God, don't bring that up, because that's the only thing I was thinking about when I seen the footage. It's that you guys might think I'm, messed up for that, but when I seen that footage, it confirmed that wasn't a lie. That's the exact same person that I would think would be throwing it back in the bathroom. Is the lady we saw that night with her wig.
Heck yeah.
Wig was in her nape, y'all. You can't tell me that people that wear their wigs in their nape don't get tossed in the bathroom. Sorry.
But
no, Robin Robin has also like mentioned about how she calls us drunk, whatever. But no, has anybody ever been like
put it on her or held her feet? No,
because she just shuts it down. She always has only shut it down, y'all. So she never gave them an opportunity to just we haven't seen any pictures or nothing like that. There was nothing that we really could
nothing concrete.
Yeah, there's nothing concrete that we could nail her to the cross about this over until we seen that footage. So and yeah, she confirmed all these rumors that we've been hearing this whole time. I feel like Gizelle's whole thing always has been like the cheating part. I feel like Gizelle is more so came at her over like infidelity type of stuff. I feel like
because she's always calling her marriage an institute. So when you keep calling it an institute, you can't call it an institute and then think somebody not gonna come from it. Kevin, they think we don't keep right. Like we don't know.
Well, thank you. You know,
right? Lord curves. She's crazy. It's crazy.
Terrible. Tell the whole world you take more medicine than prescribed. That wasn't smart. Yeah.
Okay, so literally when you were saying it, I was sitting here. I was like, my next thing is, so are you a druggie?
like that's a whole other issue too now. Like
you just told us something totally different, because there's one thing to be on alcohol and there's a whole nother thing to be popping pills and taking alcohol. Those two, they cancel each other out and then they make you loopy. Like as we saw.
You've been saying it though. You've been saying like, she gave off that it wasn't just alcohol. You said that.
Thank you, my sis. And I'm waiting for Meredith to tell me the same thing. Because Meredith, you another one on my list. You talk too slow.
Why did you have to bring them up? Now I'm sad.
Okay, don't be sad, sis. They're gonna come again. Don't worry.
Everybody needs a husband mixed with Ray, Dr. Damon, and King all rolled into one.
Come on.
Yeah, it's like that's what I'm saying. Like, don't get me wrong here, y'all. Like, I don't think Ray's a bad guy. Like, I think like I want somebody to windmill for me that hard or whatever, just about the right stuff. Right. He just is too far going about the wrong stuff, because it's just like he, instead of telling her like, hey babe, like, you know, you made a mistake or whatever, we can never allow this to happen again. Like, I'm glad that you're, you know, taking accountability for that. It's never the right thing to drink and drive. I can't lie, I was a little disappointed when, you know, it all occurred, but you know, we're gonna get you the help you need and stuff like that, instead of just sitting with her in her playing in our faces. I feel like
in Ray's defense, Ray's the one that's laying and sitting and staying with her most of the time when she's like shutting the world out, and sitting with her when she's in her lowest points. And I'm pretty sure that he sees that. And I think that with him saying that, he didn't want to hurt her while she was down already. Like it's like literally, and especially on TV. But I hear what you're saying, sis. I'm not saying Ray didn't say that. I can see Ray telling her like, you know, because Ray be having his little get backs. Sometimes he have his little, you know, he have his little moments where he want to say his little slide.
You love her? I think so.
I was like, hey, that's true T. Like, are you asking me in today? Or are you asking me in this moment? Are you asking me about yesterday? Or are you talking about in this year? Because like literally, yeah, they've been married a long time. I've been with my husband a long time. Like, I love him. I don't like him a lot of times. I love my husband, but I don't like him a lot of times. And I tell him, I said, you don't like me today. It's okay. It's okay. We've been together 25 years. Like, there's gonna be times I don't like you, and there's gonna be times you don't like me, and it's okay. So I agree. I like the way Ray handled it, and I do think that they were performing for the cameras. And it was performed. I mean, and it was written, and because of the questions and how the answers were just too grand dame for me. Like everything was centered around her, and like you say, he didn't even say, you know, I'm disappointed in you. You know, I would have never thought that after 13 years that you would do this, like that type of thing. He didn't reprimand her.
Like, it's just like not even reprimand, just accountable. Motivate her to be more accountable. Like I just feel like there's a way he could have angled it to show us like, no, he is 100% on her side no matter what, but still is not turning a blind eye to the gravity of the situation. I feel like it's like you guys still calling it an accident. Motherfucker, it ain't just an accident. Like it's not. That's a whole driving under the influences of several things. So no, we can't
She drink beer, she drank champagne, and double dose, triple dose, quadruple dose of whatever antidepressants. Like what?
Mama was gone.
Yeah, that's crazy though. 2017.
Yeah. So, and mind you, her instances date back to like 2006, 7, 11. So well before her parents passed. Just dropping that out. And I also like shout out to Bondi Blue, because she's always one I feel like that says like we have to like, y'all, none of us are going to be on this earth for forever. And I'm not saying that, you know, losing a parent at 65 hurts any more or less than somebody losing their parent at 25 versus, you know, whatever. But I have to like really think like, okay, Karen, like you've had your parent. I think we might have even said this before too. Like you've had your parents a lot longer than a lot of other people have. So, you know, 60 years old, like how much older do you think they were going to like live? Like, I think
I think about it all the time. Not all the time. It's not I think about, okay, I come to grips with, yeah, my parents are getting older. They're in they're 70. They're 70 and 72 and 71. But I say that to say they have a lot of their days are behind them than in front of them. So I know, like I literally know. So I've been preparing myself like literally every single day. Like I like literally prepare myself because I know what's going to happen. I literally prepare myself for my grandmother. My grandmother is 85. And I literally prepare myself because literally I ask God all the time, like, can you please let her live at least 15 more years, let her live to be 100? And I know I shouldn't be asking you. That's just crazy to ask. But if you can, I would love that. I would love to see her have 6 generations on this planet. Mm-hmm. And so she has 5. And so I'm like, oh my God, I just would love to see that. So I say that to say, there's a couple of things that we can take away from this situation. And with Karen talking about it is that, yeah, we should be preparing ourselves for that. That is the order in how life goes. You literally should know that your parents are supposed to go before you. You literally know your grandparents should go before your parents. Sometimes it don't happen in that order, but that is the order it's usually supposed to happen in. So you should be having some grasp of some kind of reality that this is going to happen. But a lot of people don't go through a lot of death in their early childhood or early years, so they can't come to grips with it. So maybe Karen didn't lose a lot of people, and so she couldn't come to grips with it, as maybe that was like the hardest one. Me, I had my little sister pass away, and I had my first cousin pass away, and my little sister was 2. So the kind of pain and hurt that I've had allows me to look at life a little different in the way I think about things. So I'm not gonna be okay with it, but I'm gonna be okay because I know that's the order, and I know they're gonna be okay, and that's what we're supposed to do. We all came here to leave. We all came here to do our thing, and then we're all gonna leave. You know, so it's just like it's terrible that she couldn't get over that and that she uses that. But I haven't lost a parent, you know, so I'm not gonna say that she's wrong in it. You know. It's just, we don't know how that morning goes. You don't know. It's so hard to, you know, for every individual.
Her parents are 74 and 71, which is not, that's not that old. But it's definitely not that old. I can understand still being kind of thrown off by it. Especially, y'all, I get it too, especially if it was abrupt. Like my grandmother, for instance, like she wasn't sick or anything like that. And the next day she just wasn't here. So it's like, again, I get it. But it's also, I don't know, the way that Karen, I feel like angles it sometimes, it's like so just like her mind was just like blown, like, wow, this happened. Like, yeah. And I get it doesn't make it the grieving process any better at all. But it's just like, are you gonna like at some point your actions have to, even if your heart doesn't accept it, your actions have to accept it after a while, meaning if a lot of this was tied to this and her drinking and stuff like that, after a certain amount of time, like that just can't be the excuse no more, Karen. It can't.
Yeah, you should. Why don't you go
too? So it's like you gotta like just the focus has to shift. It has to in order
if you were in so much grief, why wouldn't you go seek grief counseling? Like, that's what you go do. You're in grief. I can't function without my parent. And now my other parent's gone. I can't function. I gotta go figure this out. But I guess her self-medicating, it was getting her over. It was making her feel something, I guess. It was making her feel. But literally she should have got grief counseling, not else. I can relate. All my friends, I experienced 5 generations. My great grandmother passed when you were 29. See,
Exactly.
that's what I'm talking about.
So
Yeah,
it's like
my great grandmother. So yeah,
it's just different for everybody. I totally get that, but I just really need to see a different Karen come out after a year.
And a real one, not nothing for the TV. Matter of fact, I don't even want her to come back onto Potomac until she gets like, even what did she say? I wasn't doing sobriety, especially around these. I'm just not drinking around these bitches. Even then, you were in denial. You was literally still sitting in denial right then. So if she doesn't think that she needs sobriety, that's a problem. Because you do. You literally do. Now it's not about you literally have to stop it. Like,
did you hear her statement? I don't know if you heard her statement, but because they released that. She didn't take like that. She literally did not take full accountability for anything, y'all. Even in the statement, I feel like she didn't. But she literally did not anything until she was literally in the courtroom, like D-Day. So something really just has to give there. Otherwise, it's all gonna be like for nothing, and then they'll come out and it'll be number 5.
For sure.
And I don't want to see a number 5 happen for her sake, for anybody else's sake on the road, nobody's. I was the only kid who had both grandparents and great grandparents while in junior and senior high. Lost both great grandparents many years after college. Oh,
I lost one of my grandparents in junior high school, and everybody else stayed alive until I was grown, and they all got to see my kids. So yeah, I very blessed, like literally very, very blessed. But then I'm also knowing that they're gonna go. Like, if I lose my grandmother, and I can live with that, because that's like one of, like, Barb, that was her favorite person. My grandmother was one of my favorite people, like the kindest soul, the sweetest person, born on 420. Like she the bomb, like literally the bomb. Like, love her, but miss her presence. But I also look like my grandmother. I just feel her around me all the time. A white butterfly come around, I'm like, what's up, grandmother? Hey, grandmother. Like, literally. So, and I find comfort in that kind of stuff. So literally, I just want Karen to get to a better place. She got to get there, but she got to do it on a sober tone. Like, you can't do it drinking. It's not going to work.
And then is that also like, yeah, is it you're so much tied into that, because like that also tells me like what is going on in the other areas of your life then, like that, like this is so. I feel like she's secretly not fulfilled in like any area of her life then, or happy just in totality of it, because that this consumes you to that degree, because it's like, again, it's still going to be there. It's not going to hurt any less, but it's just like, you'll be so captivated by all these other things in your life sometimes. And knowing that you had these memories with these individuals for so many years. And I don't know, just a lot of deeper issues there. I feel like.
I agree with that. I agree with what you just said. I definitely agree with that. TT, my condolences, my love, my goodness. To watch my mom lose her daughter is something I will never forget. So my heart goes out to you, because I've seen that firsthand, what it looks like, and it's no joke. And I don't care what age it is, none of that. So yeah. It's and that's what happens. You will self-sabotage. And I feel like that's what Karen was doing. And she was trying to have somebody save her, but because she was doing it secretively, what she was doing. I'm at the restaurant, right, where she was drinking. I'm having brunch with Whoopty Wop. I'm drinking. I'm out with the girls. I'm drinking. Like, but he's just like, have your fun. But she's literally masking it. She's masking the drinking for what she was.
She's never present with herself. It doesn't seem like she like, which means there's probably not a lot of self-love there, which we can literally go about this probably all day, because it shines light on, it's all interconnected. And yes, thank you everybody for sharing in the chat and stuff like that. I feel like we all got very, very vulnerable right now, and definitely appreciate, having this community on here where we can have real conversations and just, you know, reflect and talk about these things.
Reality TV meets real life. And that's what
real
issues does.
I think even though I don't, how do I say, I'm not happy that this happened and stuff like that, but it is always like a reminder that, yeah, sometimes it'll be 90% drama and mess and stuff like that, but there are a lot of real elements in these shows sometimes that really can spark different conversations and stuff like that. Even going back to Salt Lake City, what we dealt with in this season and stuff like that, that we were able to really weigh in on, because that was real stuff. This is a real situation, I'm pretty sure. In one form or another, we can all, you know, relate or to some aspect of this type of story and stuff like that, I'm sure. So again, I love having these conversations. Sorry to hear that. I can only imagine loss. I don't have kids, so I can't even imagine. Like, oh my God.
I prepare myself for that too. Like literally, because I've been through that kind of stuff. I like literally, I think about it. I should not think about it as much as I do, but I do, because I like literally, if it happens, I want to be able to not it take me all the way out. I'll be like, I've already grasped it. I already knew it. I already thought about it. It's like I literally had to do it, because if I don't never want to feel like we can't feel like.
Same. I feel like I mean, it was like put in perspective when I lost my grandmother. It was just like, wow, like
people can pass.
I'm always on. It's not like I've dealt with it before, but obviously that was the one that hit closest to home and stuff like that. And it's just like, because of that, and maybe I need to be in the grief counseling. I don't know. It's always a trauma, just like response, I guess, for me, just to be always on edge about that. Like, oh my God, like love my grandfather to death. He's 82.
Okay.
And so I'm always like, just always thinking like, yeah. So I get it. I definitely get it.
I was preparing. It's almost like a prepare, but it's like you don't want nothing to happen, but it's like,
no,
I ain't preparing.
It's like constant reality check within yourself, I feel like.
Yes.
What is, I was 29, oldest and cousin youngest was 21. My great grandparents passed. Wow, that's a blessing.
That's so bomb. That is so.
I know it is. My great grandma, my grandmother's mother, she passed when I was 2. None of the other ones. That was the only one that was still on this earth while I was on the earth. I think all my other great grandparents had passed before I was even born.
I saw my great grandmother, and I have pictures of my great grandmother. She was still alive when I was actually. I was gonna say she might have still been alive when I had my grandbaby, but she wasn't. She was gone by the time I had my children, but I did get to be my great grandmother. Like, so that's the blessing.
Wait, your mom's grandmother?
My mom's grandmother. Yep.
Or
my grandmother's mother. The way you want to do it, like, yeah. I look at it, my grandmother's mom, like literally. I got the eyes on her, I got to touch her and everything. So yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry, TT. I hate lupus too. I lost my mom's oldest sister. We lost her in 2015 from lupus. And
I'm sorry. Can you tell us how old she was, TT? I know you said 19. I just want to put a little number on it as well. I have friends that have lupus, and lupus sucks.
It does.
It's just one day at a time. It's one day they're good, and then they can literally just down, super down, like no energy, like the lowest of low. Like I'm like, wait, what?
Oh, for real. And my sister has like traits of it or whatever, so like I'm always so nervous for her. So yeah, it's definitely not a nice. It's not nice at all. Oh my God.
None of them are.
And y'all, the last thing I wanted to share was Andy. He finally resurfaced to weigh in on everything with Karen. Finally, he said a little something. Shout outs to the Jasmine brand. Andy Cohen speaks on Karen Huger's prison sentence after DUI conviction. I'm a Karen fan, but drunk driving is no joke. Andy Cohen is opening up about Karen Huger's sentencing following her DUI conviction. On his radio show, Cohen shared, I haven't been on since Karen was sentenced, and I don't have much to say. I will say I am thinking of Karen every day. I'm so sad about this. I am a Karen fan. Drunk driving is no joke. It's so bad. So hearing this was her 4th situation was tough. Huger was sentenced to 2 years, 1 year suspended, and 5 years of probation after being found guilty of DUI, DWI, and other charges. Given that this was Karen's fourth alcohol-related traffic offense, Cohen added, "I'm not surprised the judge wasn't playing. It's so sad." So yeah, that's what that's what Andy had to say. I mean, it is. I mean, he pretty much summed up how I feel about it. It's a sad case to go out like that, and I can only hope, y'all, that somehow she learns the lesson, the hard lesson that needed to be learned through this. And yes, because there is other issues lying there, I do hope that she is receiving the assistance she needs and drops this whole Grand Dame freaking cape or whatever, because clearly I think that this was all just a mask to mask like other deeper lying issues that need to be addressed. I do. And I mean, I hope Ray is I'm sure Ray will be fine. And I hope her kids
a little piece of mind. Just a little bit, little piece.
I judge him for that. Like, because that's the thing, y'all. Like, you got to understand, like, only one person can take so much stuff. And the way he was out there, obviously, I said it when it first, the clips first aired, that like, okay, this is not a road they've been down before. You can't tell me that they haven't been down this road before. And then let it be known, yeah, they have been. So, and
once, twice, 3, 4 times the lady, girl. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And every single time we hear her say something about him, it's like they gonna do this, and it's always like what Ray didn't do, or like what else issues they are having, whatever. And what I saw is somebody literally, when you say he's your most supportive soldier, and that's literally what I saw. So I don't want to hear no Ray slander come out her mouth when she comes up out of there. I don't. He probably gonna still be down there, all the visits and stuff like that. So no.
I definitely know that.
Oh my gosh. 20 is so long.
And yeah, that's tough. I have a 29-year-old, and my daughter just turned 33. So like literally, I have 2 of my babies made it to 26, and so yeah, yeah, super condolences, baby.
Yes, very, very true. Very true. But again, y'all, we just, because I think about the individuals that could have been impacted by this, or the individuals that have been impacted by these same types of circumstances, I can't give her a pass for it. I can't. I can give her all of the understanding in the world when it comes to these different branches that are branched off of the actual issue, but the actual issue, the actual offense, I personally, because I would be going against my values and my ethics, I can't give her a pass for that. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I just hope she comes out a better person. Whether she does the full year, she gets off for early. I don't think she's gonna do a full year. I believe she might do 9. She could do 7 months, maybe 7 to 9 months is where I'm putting it at. And then like literally get your life together, write some things down, and set goals. You're never too old to set goals for yourself. So I just think that, Karen, she can literally pull this thing back up, pull herself up by her bootstraps and get on the good foot. But she has to want to do it and has to recognize that she has a problem or had a problem.
That is literally first. And I don't, because people can plead guilty, people can like say whatever, but like, does she truly believe in her heart that she has an issue? She can say all day, like, okay, yeah, I'll take responsibility and stuff like that. But if she doesn't truly believe it up here and down here, then it's all gonna be for a waste. So she has to have I like to think she ain't gonna have nothing but time on her hands to really sit with herself, sober self too, and really have to like face these demons and stuff like that. Because and then the only other thing too is it's been like confirmed that they're gonna still film without her. Which, how do you guys feel about that? How about that? How do you guys feel about them proceeding with filming without her? At first, Like I was like, oh, like I don't know. I just assumed like, oh no, they're probably wait. But then I thought about it and I was like, no, like there's still enough there for them not to. For me, I have always been a Karen fan and stuff like that. So yeah, is it gonna like still be like sucky not to see her? Of course it is. But ultimately, you know, it is, that's just the way the cookie crumbled. And would you guys want to see her back? Like, I just want to hear all of y'all's thoughts on that.
I would only want to see her back if I would only want to see her back if she sticks to sobriety, which she needs, and her on her healing journey. That's what I would want to see from her. But as far as them filming, the show must go on. The show must go on because if it was anybody else, the show would go on without them as well. So yeah, no, I don't think, and it's just gonna be, you know, really one season. I think that she's gonna miss. So yeah, I think she'll be okay. I think the season will be okay without her. Now, are they gonna bring some other people on? Is the question.
No, I completely agree. That's why I said I can understand these other things maybe being things that plague a person, but ultimately there's no excuse. I can't do it.
You don't want to
my own personal life that I haven't give passes for. So
and then there's that.
Her, although they did stop for Teresa. So
they did? They stopped for Teresa?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I mean, because I knew that Teresa was gone. I didn't realize they stopped production until she came back.
Yeah, literally. The first episode was picking her up to film. Glad to hear RHOP is moving forward to begin filming that Karen. Yeah, I don't want another like Atlanta pause because it's like 7 years now. So I'm glad, that we'll have something more there.
Sunday. It starts Sunday.
Yeah, some people are like, okay, they want to see like Candace and Monique come back. There's some people that are like, okay, keep, you know, some this person
come back. Yikes.
I still need to see Charisse back. I still need to see Charisse back.
I would love
Jacqueline, I don't need her. I did hear like through the grapevine that Jacqueline said something about like, oh, she was offered a full-time spot at one point, but she had too much going on in her life, so she didn't take.
Jacqueline don't need no full-time spot.
She's a liar. No one offered that. You're a liar.
Other than her, other than now, Ashley had a crush on her, and then you know it was making Mia mad and upset, and it's like, okay, y'all, like, okay, the girl on girl action, and if y'all not really gonna want to do nothing, like, not that I need them to do something, I'm just saying, but if y'all not gonna act on it, I don't want to stop playing.
Put it out there, then put it out there.
Like, I don't care. Like, no.
I would even be okay with everybody coming back as it is, except for Mia. Mia can stay gone. That's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. I feel like it's just going to be we can't trust anything about the lady, and I'm over that. Kay, even though she did disappoint me this season, and I've been very vocal about that, I want to give her a chance. Like, I want her to do better. So I will say she can come back one more time, but if not, then if she don't bring it next season, then
what about Jassi?
Yeah, I'm good with. I'm actually good. Bump Jassi up for a full time.
Okay, so Jassi, you want Jassi more than we want Jacqueline for sure.
Yeah, Jacqueline.
She's about to get married.
If Mia's not going to be there, then there really is. If there's no reason for Jacqueline to be here now, there's definitely not a reason for Jacqueline to be here without Mia. Like,
yeah, that would make no sense.
Like, who is she really that great friends with?
Nobody. Not nobody.
Ashley, I can take or leave Ashley. So, and more so,
she needs a check. She only get checked for. She needs a check.
She needs a check, but the check don't need her. So
no, but let Gizelle tell it. Ashley is one of the richest ones on the show. So like, I was like, well, see, because what she was doing, she was harboring money. She had that side account when she had that bank, that she had that joint account, and she had a little side account. She put that money away for the side account. I was like, if she got money the way Gizelle said, I said then, and she didn't hit Michael all the way in his pockets, then you was getting money from him. Or you was doing something with your money. You was putting money away. There's no way that Gizelle thinks you got more money than everybody on the show. That's out of Gizelle's mouth. Y'all don't know that Ashley make more money or have more money than everybody on the show. I was like, wait, what? I ain't know that.
Ashley doesn't bring enough for me to. That's why I said, like, if they insist on her back, then that's their business. But I don't need her. I don't need her. Especially obviously Candace is not there, which gives her even less to talk about. Candace, like,
is Candace ready to come back with the baby?
I don't want Candace to come back if it's going to be the same, like her and Gizelle. Like Gizelle needs to be off of her BS. If it's going to be the same thing, then I don't.
She came a little bit for Wendy, and she came off a little bit.
Yeah, but it's for like there's different things there. Like when it comes to, she also I feel like the lie in which Candace Gizelle placed on Candace and her husband and that whole thing. Yeah. Like that's no, like there needs to be some very big like accountability and course correction there for me to feel confident in her coming back into that situation, because as it stands, that's not a good environment for her to be in at all.
So do you think if Gizelle apologized to Candace that would be okay?
Say
like if Gizelle apologized to Candace and was a heartfelt, like, I am so sorry. I don't know what hell I was trying to do that. I don't know why I was trying to produce the show. I don't know why I would want to.
Yeah, I mean, would I still believe her? No, but yeah, that's the correct thing that needs to happen.
That's what it would need to happen.
Because it's not like it's y'all don't take me wrong. Like, it's not because I don't want to see Candace. I would love to, but I'm also not going to allow myself to say that she needs to, put yourself back in that toxic ass situation. No, I'm not going to do that because they have her effed up. That's not.
They did. And
Teresa was charged because of her husband and not for your DUIs, which is merely all Karen's fault. Yeah, it is. I respect. Hey, if you all don't want to see her, I get it. If y'all don't want to see her back, cool. If you do want to see her back, cool. I respect however you guys feel about it.
Kevin, you do not want to see the Grand Dame back. I mean, Kevin, you go.
No, he said Karen needs to not come back to RHOP.
Okay. That's pretty messy. Okay.
No, as you can say. Whose favorite she was.
Oh, she was. She had the pictures with the. Well, see, this is why she needs to be back on. Because
I still like her though. I do like.
We need more clarity.
I do still like her and her gangsters and alcohol. I think she. You can't tell us that she didn't give more than K.
Yeah, she gave more than K.
She did. She a little eager. Yes. Is she a little eager? Yes, she is. A little thirsty. Yeah. But overall, I mean, I don't want her to be with that dude, but that's her business.
She's got invitations. You better stop.
After they all bore me out, it was good times. No one. Who? She's pregnant.
Is she?
Yeah.
For her. I'm happy that she's having a baby. That's what they wanted. And I'm happy for that. As far as Nectar, I didn't like the way she was really trying to comfort to make herself look better on the show. Like, you ain't even need to do that. Just be yourself.
Wrong.
You had a lot of money. Remember, my dad is rich, bitch. Like, you need that.
But her friends came out and said that that's not really the case. So yeah.
Don't like that.
The way she spoke to her husband was utterly disgusting. Yeah, I'm good on her. Like, I don't. I'm good. I'm good. But yeah,
and he just took it too. He just took it. So now he probably running around with that baby in her belly, really taking it. Oh man, I might have to go check her out and see if this belly.
We don't even know how old she was because one minute she said she was this old, and the next minute she said she was that old. So
I don't like people that lie on their age. That's stupid for me. Like, what the hell is what are you lying for? If you're even if you, I get it if you're an actor because they ageism is in there, but. If you ain't in that, what are you lying for? You lying for?
Stupid. I don't care. Like it has an age. Whatever. It makes me feel like you're being insecure then because like what is the other reason for it? And I could continue to stand for it. Yeah. So yeah, y'all, that's all I got about the season. It was cute or whatever.
Okay. Wait, one thing on WWHL, what's what happened live?
Oh yeah.
Mia did, not Mia, Stacey did say that she did talk to TJ. She was on there with Simone, Dr. Simone. So both of them were on, and then at the bartending was her real friend AJ.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all AJ, he was the one that said TJ didn't look like he, that ain't your type, and I don't know why would you see him and all this other stuff. So yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna let you take. I just wanted to bring it up because I didn't know if you had notes for it or not, but I just wanted to say that she did say.
I only wrote down like two things because mostly it was her still saying that he lied. I called him like directly following, and he was super upset and remorseful and whatever lies.
You didn't record. You didn't screen record that. like literally, he's talking. You should have been screen recording, and you should have said that. And I have the receipts, like
or a text message. Like there should have been something there to substantiate what you're saying, but there wasn't, y'all. I'll save you guys the energy. See, I thought it was funny though that Cecil's nephew is Walter from
that's some business.
That was funny. Stacey acted like, also something I don't like. Stacey acting like she doesn't know who Vivian is, and because a viewer had asked her like how she felt about everything that went down with Vivian, and her saying that she gave her dress back funky and etc. and she was like, who? Huh? I don't know who that is. Next
she was trying to be Mariah Carey talking about Jennifer Lopez. Mariah always say, who? I don't know what you're talking about.
Act like you don't know that lady because you got called out for bullshit. We're not going to do that because I mean, obviously, we don't know Vivian from a can of paint, but I don't know. I looked at her social media, like she just seems like a woman that is about her business, and she was on the news and stuff with her her dresses and stuff like that. So it just seems like she's a businesswoman that is doing her thing or whatever. And because of maybe if you didn't have so many inconsistencies about you, Stacey, maybe I would take your side on this, but I'm rolling with Vivian until I see otherwise, because she's been in the background all these years, whatever. We never really see her doing that much. I think she just organically is friends with all these ladies, because some people like say like, oh, she gives thirsty and stuff like that. I've never got that from her. She just always be in the background chilling, or if they invite her somewhere, those are her friends, so she goes.
I don't see her making moments. I don't see her trying to make moments.
Me neither. She's not a Sesame Street, so and she was also not an official friend or whatever, and she was still doing the most. So I don't think that Vivian, I'm taking Vivian's side, period. But she did say that Mia, she did call Mia though to check on her, even though this is the same lady that left you high and dry in Miami.
I wish I would call. I wish I would have called Mia. I wish I would call you and say, I would call you. I'd be like, girl, Karma's a bitch.
Mm-hmm. But she called her and she accepted her apology, and you
accepted old boy's apology. You are a apology sponge, huh? Okay. Thank you for letting us know, weirdo. You don't have to come back. She don't have to come back.
That's where they stand. And Stacey's also not dating post reunion. She's not dating or everybody currently. Okay, whatever, girl.
Dr. Simone gave her some sound advice and stuff. Was trying to give her sound advice because she was actually trying to. Stacey made a point because she was like, well, we wasn't having, sexual contact or whatever or anything, but I mean, I was still married. I mean, would be great for that.
After 16 years? No, but I filed for divorce at 21 years. So.
And like literally what you thought you was about to do this Dr. Simone, and Dr. Simone's little top knot was cute.
She was kind of turned up, and I was like, okay, Simone. And she did ask some good questions and kind of like break it down and tell her like what a lot of us were thinking. So okay, I will give Simone some kudos on that, because look crazy. And then your friend behind the bar, he was trying to have her back, but it's just like it's hard to have somebody's back who is lying clearly. Like he's funny, he seems cool. I ain't got no problems with AJ, but like you need to rein her in. Still, it's like, girl, it took all let you tell it. You had to rewatch it in order to see how he was coming off to you, according to you. Everybody tried to tell you, girl. Like, I don't know if I could. And if I was him, I also be offended too, because I'm your real best friend. Like, You was about to upstage me over this?
They killed me. Wait. They killed me when they asked him about the shirt. And then what did AJ say? The shirt said it all. I said, the shirt was the shirt did what it was supposed to do, and I believe the shirt. Basically, that's it. I do too. I believe the shirt. I do. No, it's not a shirt, it's a blouse.
And there you have it, y'all. There you have it. And speaking of Dr. Simone, be on the lookout. I come back tomorrow and do my video for Married to Medicine. Got a lot to say about that, y'all.
I haven't finished watching it. I gotta finish watching it. I haven't got to the song yet.
Have you watched Beyond the Gates? The new
No, I need to yeah, I need to watch it. I know I can watch it on my Fire Stick, so but I do want to watch it because I did hear Ooh Ladies First. Shout out to Ooh Ladies First panel. They was talking about it, and I was like, okay. And I know our cousin, if you guys are following Rance and Ricardo, and you guys are interested in somebody that is talking about it and reviewing it, I know our cousin is she's doing it. But I do want to watch. I was a soap opera. I love Channel 7. It was my soap operas.
Yeah. I'm not gonna do a daily recap or review. Whatever. I'm gonna do like a weekly one. I meant to do it yesterday, y'all. So I'm actually gonna do that now. It's not gonna be live, but I'm gonna probably do, or I mean, I could do live if you guys want me to do live. I don't know. Right after this, and just talk about last week's episodes or whatever, and then I'll come back probably over the weekend at some point to talk about the 5 episodes from this week. I'm just gonna do it as a week at a time because I can't.
I like that. I like that. I mean, I'm sure then it will condense itself in the story.
Yeah,
a little bit better.
Different parts of it if you guys are interested in that. Yeah, man.
Potomac is on Sunday. Yeah, don't forget to watch
Atlanta comes back this week, y'all. I also want to talk about some Oscars red carpet looks. Do that tomorrow too.
Yeah, so I will definitely be tuning in when you do so because I didn't watch the Oscars. I was at one of my clients' house and
I'm sorry, and that's not the shade. Shout out to everybody who got their Oscars. I'm not downplaying that, but it wasn't really many people I knew or was interested in. I just want to talk about the fashions because that's what I like.
That's why I'm like, I love when you show me that. That's my favorite part. I literally want to see what you're talking about. That's the only reason why I like to watch the red carpet. I don't even need to watch the award ceremony.
I like to watch the ceremony if it's more like, it was just boring for me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry, but I do want to talk about that. So again, this is why y'all need to have your notification bell on.
Y'all.
Appreciate y'all for rocking, all season long for this. Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you caught this on X, shout out to the 57 people that are watching on X. Please come on over here to the YouTube and subscribe to both our channels. Like the video on both of our channels, comment on both of our channels, share on both of our channels, do all the things on both channels except for and yeah. I enjoyed y'all in the chat. Kevin, TT, our cousin here, Feisty, sis Carla, our sis Nola, everybody, Larja. Shout out to everybody who came on through. I'm not missing anybody. Definitely appreciate y'all. You guys always hold it down in the chat. But
and Feisty.
I said Feisty. I think
I was talking about.
Speaking of soap opera, I am too. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm about to come right back with that, y'all, probably in like the next 20, 30 minutes to talk about last week's episode. Like I said, TJ giving Hollywood vibes. Oh my God, Kevin. I can see that. I can totally see that. I enjoyed
sending a lot of love to you too. Thank you for joining us. We appreciated your comments and input and all the vulnerability that you gave us, all that good stuff.
Yes. I appreciate everybody for their vulnerability and us having a real conversation today. And
lastly but not least, again, rest in peace to Angie Stone once again.
Yes. RIP, definitely. Y'all. See you in the next one.
Bye, guys.